Alright, listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal will astonish you. This isn't merely a rumor or a fan theory concocted on Reddit during the late hours. It's real, and once you understand it, it will stick with you. The music industry has come together in an unforeseen manner, and everything is fitting together so perfectly that it feels as if it was planned from the beginning. So get comfortable, concentrate, and allow me to walk you through this step by step, as there's a lot to explore. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where we bring you the stories behind the headlines. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because this story goes deeper than anything you've seen in the mainstream media. Let's start from the top. Bad Bunny dropped DTMF, and if you know anything about that track, you know it hit different. It wasn't just another song. It had this energy, this texture, this feeling that you could not shake no matter how many times you listened to it. That kind of sound doesn't happen by accident. Behind every record that makes you feel something on a cellular level, there's a producer who understood exactly what they were building. And the producer behind DTMF, that person is a genius, a quiet genius. The type who works in the shadows, lets the artists take the spotlight, and just keeps cooking in the studio without making noise about it. The type whose name you might not know yet, but whose sound you have definitely felt before without even realizing it. Now here's where the story starts to get interesting, because that same producer, the one who helped shape one of Bad Bunny's most talked about records, is connected to something much bigger, something that has the entire music industry buzzing right now. Something that, if the whispers are true, is going to change how we think about one of the most anticipated albums of the year. And we're talking about Arirang, BTS's Jimin, and a project so mysterious, so carefully protected, that even the most connected people in the industry have barely been able to get a look at it. Before we go further, let's talk about Arirang for a second. Because if you don't fully understand what that word means, you won't fully understand why this is such a big deal. Adidang is not just a title, it is one of the most iconic, most sacred folk songs in all of Korean history. It has been sung for centuries, it has been passed down through generations. It represents longing, separation, love, and survival all at once. It is woven into the cultural identity of Korean people in a way that goes far beyond music. When you name an album Arirang, you are not playing around. You are making a statement. You are saying that whatever is inside this project carries that same weight, that same depth, that same emotional history. You are essentially telling the world that this is not just entertainment. This is art. This is legacy. And Jimin understands that. If you have followed his journey, you know that he does not move carelessly. Every decision is intentional. Every step is calculated. Face, his debut solo album, was a masterclass in emotional storytelling. Muse pushed the conversation even further. Each project has been more ambitious than the last, more willing to take risks, more willing to sit in uncomfortable truths and turn them into something beautiful. So when Adidang started getting whispered about in music circles, people paid attention immediately, not because of hype, because of track record. Now back to that producer connection, because this is the part that has people genuinely losing their minds. The producer behind DTMF is reportedly one of the names attached to Swim, which many people in the know believe is the title track of Adidang. Read that again slowly if you need to. The person who helped build the sonic world of one of Bad Bunny's biggest records is now potentially at the center of Jimin's most personal and ambitious project yet. That is not a coincidence. That is a vision. That is someone at the top of their craft being trusted by two completely different artists from two completely different worlds and delivering for both of them. Think about what that means for a second. Bad Bunny is Latin music royalty. He has redefined what it means to be a global superstar from Puerto Rico. He moves culture. He does not follow trends, he sets them. For a producer to be trusted in his world, to be in the room where his music gets made, to have their fingerprints on something as specific and carefully crafted as DTMF, that means that producer has a level of credibility that is almost impossible to fake. You cannot buy your way into that. You have to earn it with your talent alone. And then on the other side of the globe, you have Jimin, who is operating at a completely different altitude creatively right now. Post-military service, hungry, focused, with something to prove and everything to say. The reports surrounding Arirang suggest that this album is going to be unlike anything he has ever released, more personal, more raw, more willing to step outside the boundaries of what people expect from him. And if Swim is truly the title track, and if this producer is truly the one who helped build that sound, then the table is already set for something extraordinary. Swim as a title is fascinating on its own. Think about what that word conjures: movement through resistance, staying afloat when everything around you is trying to pull you under, the constant effort it takes just to keep your head above water, and sometimes the strange, almost meditative peace that comes when you stop fighting the current and just let yourself move with it. If that is the emotional space that Adidang is operating in, then everything starts to make sense. Jimin has talked openly about the pressures he has faced, the expectations placed on him, the weight of being who he is in the world. An album built around that theme, with a title track called Swim, produced by someone who already helped create a global hit with Bad Bunny, that is not a small thing. That is a moment. And what makes this even more layered is the cultural bridge that this producer is quietly building without anyone fully noticing until right now. Latin music and Korean music have both taken over the world in ways that nobody predicted 20 years ago. K-pop changed the game completely, broke every barrier that people said could not be broken, proved that language was never actually a wall. And reggaeton, Latin trap, Bad Bunny's specific brand of genre-blending brilliance, did exactly the same thing on a different side of the world. Two movements, two seismic shifts in global music culture, and now there's a producer standing in the middle of them both, connecting the dots. This is the kind of move that only the best in the business can pull off, because producing is not just about beats, it's not just about sounds, it's about understanding an artist deeply enough to build a world around them. It's about knowing what they're trying to say and finding the sonic architecture that says it without words. To do that for Bad Bunny is one thing, to then turn around and do it for Jimin with all of the emotional complexity and cultural specificity that comes with a project like Arirang is something else entirely. That takes range, that takes sensitivity, that takes a level of musical intelligence that is genuinely rare. Now, the details around Arirang are still being kept tight. Nobody is talking too much. Nobody is letting things slip in interviews. The rollout has been deliberate and controlled, which honestly only adds to the excitement, because when artists protect a project that carefully, it usually means one of two things. Either they're scared or they know exactly what they have. And Jimin has never struck anyone as someone who operates from fear. So if the silence around this album is that loud, it's almost certainly because the music is that powerful. Think back to how DTMF landed. Think about the conversation it started. Think about how people talked about it, shared it, picked it apart, tried to figure out exactly what made it feel the way it felt. That kind of reaction doesn't happen without a producer who understood the assignment on a deep level. And if that same energy is now being poured into Swim, into Adidang, into what could be the defining creative statement of Jimin's solo career, then we are genuinely standing at the edge of something that is going to be talked about for a long time. Here's what also deserves to be said. The fact that this is even happening, that a producer moves fluently between the world of Bad Bunny and the world of Jimin, tells you something important about where music is right now. The old walls are completely gone. The idea that certain producers belonged in certain genres, certain sounds belonged to certain cultures, certain artists could only work within certain boxes, all of that is dead. What matters now is talent. What matters is vision. What matters is whether you can go into a room with an artist you trust and come out with something that makes people feel alive. And this producer has apparently proven that they can do exactly that in more than one universe. There's also something poetic about the timing of all this. Jimin coming back after military service, stepping back into his solo career with what sounds like his most ambitious project yet,
choosing to name it after one of the most historically and emotionally significant titles in Korean culture, and then surrounding himself with collaborators who have already proven themselves at the highest level of global music. This is not someone easing back in gently. This is someone announcing their return with full force, and every detail that comes out, including this producer connection, only reinforces that message.
The music industry loves to act like crossover moments or accidents, like they happen when stars align by chance and nobody planned for it. But the truth is, the biggest crossover moments in history always had someone behind the scenes who made the introduction, built the bridge, and understood both worlds well enough to know that the connection was possible. That is what seems to be happening here. A producer who has already left fingerprints on global hits is now at the center of what could be the most talked about album of the year. And the thread connecting it all starts with DTMF and ends, or maybe begins, with Swim. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears ready, because Arirang is coming. And if even half of what is being whispered about this project turns out to be true, the conversation that follows is going to be enormous. Jimin is not just releasing music, he is making a statement about identity, about culture, about what it means to carry the weight of who you are and still find a way to move through it. And somewhere in that story, in that sound, is a producer who helped Bad Bunny build something unforgettable and is now helping Jimin do the exact same thing in a completely different emotional language. That connection is not small. That connection is everything. And now that you see it, you will never listen to either of those projects the same way again. The world of music just got a whole lot smaller, and somehow that makes it feel bigger than ever. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.